Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video. And who else has a heart on right now? I do. You know why? It's because the new Legend of Zelda trailer has come out, and a title for the game has finally been shown. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wind. Now, hopefully all of you have seen this, and I urge you to go see it if you have not. But basically this shows us the general idea of the gameplay that's going to be in this. It's going to be a very open-world Zelda game, very Skyrim or Shadow of the Colossus-esque kind of gameplay, where you can kind of go where you want to and do what you want to. But we found some new interesting things also in this too. For example, Link can go hunting. Yes, you can actually go and see animals and kill the animals and make food, which, again, you can make food in this, which is kind of interesting. They show a scene where Link has to go and jump on a wild horse and tame the horse. In addition to that, we see him do a lot of climbing, so there's going to be some climbing mechanisms in this, and him using various different weapons, such as spears and bows and axes. Never seen him use an axe before or a spear before, but hey, for a time for everything. And we also get a little bit of hints of what possibly could be story, although I wouldn't even go that far, because right now what we have to do is we have to take our hats, we have to put our theorist hats on. Haven't had to put these on in a long time. But basically, on looking on this trailer and watching this trailer, the first thing I thought is this was going to be set sometime right after Skyward Sword. Possibly even with the same Link. And that you see as very wild and untamed and uncapped, and you see some of the buildings, and a lot of the buildings seem to be in shambles and ruins. But there's a couple indicators that actually point me in another direction on where this fits in the timeline. Number one is, well, in this you actually see him on a horse, and he's traveling, and he's actually going over a bridge. And this could very well be the same bridge as from Twilight Princess, which is the Bridge of Eldin. And then you even look at as he's going over the bridge, and it kind of has the same setup as it was in Twilight Princess. Another thing that kind of indicates this is you get to see various different landmarks, like there's the Temple of Time, but the Temple of Time is in ruins. Or at least it looks like the Temple of Time. And then you also see the Master Sword in a pedestal in the Lost Woods. Not the pedestal of time like it was left in Skyward Sword, or even Ocarina of Time, but actually left in the Lost Woods, which at the end of Twilight Princess, we don't know where he put the Master Sword. It was in Ganon, but we don't know where else it went. And another interesting thing is in the E3 demonstrations, we saw that he talks to an old man, and the man mentions his Ganon. If we all know, Ganon doesn't show up until after Skyward Sword. So my theory, and again, this is all just theory, that this takes place further down on the child timeline after Twilight Princess, after Four Swords Adventures, where Hyrule is in ruins, and Link is just kind of getting through the day, and, everything is just that of legend. Ganon is a secret to the Sheikians, and, only they know what's going on. Another interesting thing to know about this is if you look at the Master Sword really closely, and especially when it's in the logo and the title, is the Master Sword is actually rusted up, and it looks in pretty bad condition. At first I thought this was like dirt, and maybe like weeds and stuff growing on it, because it's just been chilling there for a while. But no, it actually looks like it has rust on it. So that's an interesting indicator too. So what we know from this, at least, is that this is set after Skyward Sword and set after at least Ocarina of Time, and very strongly hinted that it's set after Twilight Princess. We also know that this is a male Link. I know there was a lot of debate going on that, you can pick genders, and you can be Linkle, or you can be Link, or a female version of Link, or whatever. But no, it's actually sticking with the male Link. There is voice acting in this. Someone keeps on telling Link to wake up. Is it Zelda? Is it someone else? I mean, you never know. In addition to that, we see Link use various different armors, and we use various different weapons. But one thing we don't see is the classic green tunic. So how do I feel about all this? Honestly, I'm very pumped and excited. I like change when it comes down to game titles. It's nice to have the thing that we know and we love and that we're used to, but it's also nice to get things different, especially in the Zelda franchise. The games that I tend to like the most, like Skyward Sword being my favorite game, Wind Waker and Majora's Mask being my second favorites, they're all vastly different games. They're not just, let's do the first 3 dungeons, get the Master Sword, let's go on and do the other temples, kind of like A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and Twilight Princess were. Wind Waker was this sprawling adventure over the vast seas, trying to find out the truths of the past. Skyward Sword is this epic about saving the universe from a dangerous demon, and at the same time fulfilling a prophecy of the Triforce and forging the Master Sword and doing it all alone. And then you have something along the lines of Majora's Mask, which is more of a subtle story about life and death and change and growth, and very dark. So again, I like the fact that this is different. I would be okay if Link didn't get his green tunic, if he just chilled in that blue one the whole time, if he never got his floppy hat. I like that it's changing up. The gameplay I'm very interested in and seeing how that change up. One thing I am nervous about is a lot of people were kind of iffy about the one-to-one sword play from Skyward Sword, but I think that was one of the best features of Skyward Sword, so I hope it does return. I don't think it is. They're going to focus on the Wii gamepad. And just on a whole, it just has an interesting new feel to it, so different is good. But then again, I felt the same way about other Zelda games that turned out to be just okay. Like, I was pumped to death about Twilight Princess, and then after playing it, I'm like, okay. Not to discredit Twilight Princess, still great game, still fun. I have my Wii, my GameCube, and my Wii U version, but the hype wasn't there after the fact. Like, the hype was there, but the deliverance wasn't as much. So, in saying that, I'm very pumped, very optimistic. I want to see what this game has going for it, and I would like to know what you guys think. Please comment below. Tell me what you think about the new trailer. And are you as excited as I am? And more importantly, what are your theories on this game? Where does it take place? Is it before or after a certain game? And how does it tie into everything? That said, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.